Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking
I'm gonna be right
risks,
back.
making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my
Install a
hopes
new
and
web camera.
fears. Tune in daily, don't miss
New
a
web
single
camera
show.
coming
Sign
soon.
up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks,
Man.
making moves, seeking success. Together
Oh,
we'll
that's
conquer,
horrible.
no room for any less. Listen now.
Let's see, we're at
Every morning I
100%
wake
there,
up to the
so.
sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I
Do
wake
not
up to the
disturb
sound of the trading bell.
on
My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading
Why am I not signed in
podcast
here?
my ears, guiding
It's
me through
wacky.
my hopes and fears.
Give me some time.
Tune in daily, don't miss
Meanwhile, I am watching Sandisk. This is a crazy. Last night I almost let's see, home and then live. There we go. Under $600 is the play on this one, but let's see. Let's do a 1 minute. We'll do after hours. This was kind of what was crazy last night. Where is it? Is that you had oh, come on. There we go. There's the after hours. So you get the earnings. It pops up to about 624. And then immediately lose confirmation. I kind of just go about my business and I write in my notes, hey, anything under $600 is a good buy. And I go about my business. And I think, okay, I'll have a chance tomorrow because Apple's not holding on to its gains. I have an assumption the conference call with Apple is going to be pretty good and they're going to address memory and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, it kind of doesn't top that 620. So I'm thinking, okay, we've got time. And then I see it at 620 and it starts to slide again. And so I'm fine. Then I wake up this morning and it's flying again. So I've still got my take on this one is that if it gets under that $600 again, that's going to be a buy because the earnings were that good. This should be a $2,000 stock right now, just based on their guidance. you put the earnings together and it $2,000 stock. Larry, good morning, Wendy. Let me go. I've got all my stuff open, so I may just head into the podcast. I mean, the NASDAQ just can't get over that 630 level. It constantly just gets rejected off of it and back. I mean, that goes back to October 30th. October. So, I mean, we floundered in here. It again, I have said this over and over. The indicators do seem stretched on a weekly chart, but you're in a bull market until you're not. These things need to reset at some point, and they just haven't. So, they always do. Last year during April, we got the new Fed chair. The market likes it, doesn't love it. Dollar strengthened. 10-year. I mean, we can look at the 10-year. The bonds, the 10-year. Where's the 10-year? There it is. Up 0.52%. So year to date, up 2.16%. And that's just a 2.16% of 4.2%. It's not like it was 2% and it got up to 4%. So just realize that. But you can see over 1 year, I mean, we're trending downward. Over 5 years, you're still not in a downward trend. So even though we shot up there, we just haven't, they can't figure out how to lower rates. So, but I still like this. Penny, calm down. She's looking to kill. Energy and basic materials. I mean, that's driving year to date. It's the last day in January. Morning, T. Jassy. So, yeah. I like where the market's at. I am making some personal moves probably today or early next week. But that's a chart that isn't horrible. Do I love it? I mean, the 50-day is you can kind of move back here to last year where the 50-day was just above the 200. And it's kind of playing out like last year. And Apple has a blowout quarter and it doesn't move. We've got great earnings from the Mag 7 and they don't move. So, morning, Travis. And FYI, Robinhood under 100. Yes, please. Yes, please. We'll go over that one. iBit under 50. Yes, please. Meta popped up to that 740, rejected off. I mean, rejected right off that 740. Where'd that 740 come from? Well, let's go back to February of last year. 740. Again, everything seems to be lining up that it's a wait for the dick. Yeah. Yeah, and Deckers, I have that one at the end of my thing. Right here, right in the last part. Deckers is up 13%. So, Palantir hasn't done squat since July. I mean, it's below that 160 support level. I would assume if we just... Let's pull this back to where this $80 came in. And let's look at where everybody's holding. They're holding down here at 120. You break that 120 on Palantir and look out below because there's a room all the way to 80. So, and I don't think, again, I think Amit is investing. I like him and he does a lot. but I don't think the market will take it down that far. But you look at this PE and the PEG ratio, even though the growth is fantastic, it's still expensive. And am I going into we'll talk about software. This is a software name. Microsoft got lumped in with software yesterday. So, yeah. Only one that looks good is the one that I hated the most, and that's Tesla. And it's up 1.4%. Even Exxon is dipping down below that 140. I mean, this was just an epic run in Exxon. Over 37 days, 20% in Exxon. And it's stretched. The MACD, the RSI is at 82. You're telling me Exxon, you want to buy an RSI at 76 on a weekly at an all-time high, even though it may be cheap? Let me see. I don't think it's cheap. I think it's a hold in the quant. Yeah, it's I mean, 20 times forward earnings when the sector's at 5. I mean, for me, again, and I hate to point this out, MPLX is my energy play. And that's cheap. 11 times, 12 times forward earnings. PEG ratio going forward, though, of 4.95. Why? Because their growth is limited. But I bring up 7.66% yield. Perfectly happy. So, yeah, Meat Stick. I have it in my notes. Stay tuned for that one. I actually know Kevin Warsh's wife. So, the 6 degrees of bacon is what I'm putting it in. I'm a 1. So, I don't think Microsoft gets to 280. I could be wrong, but I don't think Microsoft gets to 180. I think you're an alarmist. 280, I mean. I don't think it gets to 280, no. You're not getting a Mag 7 that brings in, I mean, just, they make $350 million. I'm sorry, that's $350 billion in revenue. No. They're not going down that far. No, we were on a semester at sea together. What temple do I go to, Meat Stick? Is that your attempt at Jewish hate? I'm kind of thinking. Are you anti-Semitic, Meat Stick? Just asking. Not accusing, just asking. Because that does sound like an anti-Semitic joke. Producer price index comes in hotter than expected. Inflation is coming into, yeah. That's the problem that Warsh is going to have, is he's promised Trump, make no mistake. How am I Jewish? How's an Irish guy Jewish? That's why it came out of left field. When have I ever said that I was Jewish? It sounds anti-Semitic. Sorry, but it did. I've never said that I was Jewish. I never said that I was going to temple. I've never brought up Judaism. No, I'm not. I am not Jewish. Oh, okay. I'm going to get into the podcast now. Start recording. Let's do this. I'm going to hit record. Good morning. It is Friday, January 30th. Big day. Trump announced his new Fed president, so we're going to get lower rates. We know that, and I have a 6 degrees of bacon story for that one. So we have a new Fed chair. Know what you own, because there are 6 stocks that I will bring up that hit an all-time high yesterday, and my portfolio was way down. So know what you own. I do know what I own. We'll talk about a big change that I may make to my top 5 based on earnings yesterday. Alpha picks still killing it. The strong buy alpha pick did not pan out as we thought, as we've seen in the past. Hey, it's never a perfect thing in the market. The market is its own living, breathing thing. We'll talk about earnings because that's what's driving this market, and we will talk about weekend homework. Why am I talking about weekend homework? Because the first thing that I want everyone to do is go to Linktree and click on TrendSpider, the top one. Why? Because they're having a sale. And I say this all the time, and I get constant messages after the sale. I should have gotten that sale. So this is the winter's best deal. And yes, it's just for the weekend. It's a flash sale. So let me give you some highlights, okay? 14-day trial. 14-day trial of full access to any TrendSpider plan. You can get the advanced plan, you can get the enhanced, you can get the premium or standard for 14 days for $7. Less than a burrito bowl at Chipotle. $7. Now, if you decide to get the annual plan, let's go over this. The annual plan, you save up to 50% right there. You can see $107. And I point this out a lot. You get 52 training sessions per year, one-on-one on Zoom with a product expert. You don't know anything about technicals. This looks like hieroglyphics, and you're saying, well, ancient Egypt wrote in that. Well, here's your chance. 52, 1 per week. You can do 2 a week for the next 26 weeks, whatever you want. Break that down, okay? You have 4 weeks in a month. Say you do 1 a week. $107 divided by 4 is like $26, 26 and change, $26 per hour, and they throw in the tool for free for 1 year. That's an amazing discount. Now, if you get quarterly plans, you can get 30%. If you get monthly plans, you can save up to 18%. They have plans to fit every budget in this sale. But I want to point out something big. You listen to this podcast. You see me use my 4-hour algorithm. That is something that I built. It's housed in TrendSpider. It's something that I provide you. Okay? TrendSpider, when you sign up for an annual plan, I get an alert. I send you all of the tools that I use. Again, if it's in your budget, get the advanced. While this sale is going on, don't go Temu. Don't think, oh, you know what? I'm just going to get that 1 training session per year, and then I'm going to go and ask Gary all these questions. No. I provide minimal support. TrendSpider is fantastic at support. You can go right down here and contact us, and they have a ton of great tools out there for you to use. But I urge you, if it's within your budget and you want to learn this, it's 52 training sessions per year. Because trust me, understanding technicals and how to read charts, you're going to use that skill for the rest of your life. Plus, you get Sidekick. And Sidekick, we're going to use Sidekick later in this podcast. I'm going to show you, hey, I want to get rid of a stock. What are 5 stocks that I could buy right now? Literally, something like that. You can do whatever you want and ask Sidekick tons of questions. So do it this weekend. Go to Linktree, click on that link, and sign up for TrendSpider and get the tools that you need. Again, I think we are going to see a pullback. Why? I've been saying this for quite a while. Right now, you're looking at my screen and QQQ is bounced off that 633. And you may say, well, that's just random. No. Here's the all-time highs, October 30th. That's 1 quarter ago. We have gone down to 585, bounced up. We have gone down to 600, bounced up. We have gone back down to 600 and bounced up. It's a lot of time to sit there. If you knew where to trim, you would be trimming at 633 on your QQQ that you bought over a year ago to pay long-term capital gains and then buying on the dip. That's the market that we're in. And if you knew this kind of thing, you would say, well, when's the dip going to end? I've been saying it for quite a while. The indicator seems stretched on a weekly chart. I've been saying that since October. You can see the MACD is just trending down, starting to. The RSI hasn't gotten below 50. We haven't seen the pullback and the full dip yet. Unless we go sideways from now until June, these things need to come down. The market is stretched. Earnings are great, but the market is stretched. Now, good news is Trump named Kevin Warsh as his pick. For those old enough to remember the 6 Degrees of Bacon, the game that came out like I think early 2000s or something. It's how many people does it take in Hollywood to link one actor to Kevin Bacon? Because he's a Hollywood legend and in tons of movies. Well, how many people does it take to connect me to Kevin Warsh? One. Just one. His wife, Jane Lauder, who is the granddaughter of Estee Lauder. She was on a boat with me in fall of 1993 on a program called Semester at Sea, going around the world with 500 college students. Yes. No, I do not have her phone number. No, I don't have a relationship with her, but I can almost guarantee you that at some point in time in my life, I was drunk in a bar somewhere in port singing either Barry Manilow or Elvis on karaoke with her in the audience. So, what's that a big deal for? We know Warsh is going to lower interest rates because he said it. He's been out there saying it. We know he's going to try it. If inflation comes back, what happens if he actually starts raising rates again? It'll be interesting. But is that the market? Is that the catalyst that pushes the markets back? I don't know. Metals, we've seen them fall just this morning. Gold, silver, pair losses as Trump confirms Warsh Fed chair nomination. Why? Dollar got stronger. It's all interconnected. It's all interconnected. So you have to know what you own. And yes, if you lost money in yesterday's market, it might be your stock choices. Here's 5 all-time highs yesterday. Google. All-time highs. It's pulling back a little today. We can go and look at the Google chart. Down 1%. 4-hour algorithm had you in at 311. You're at 338. The average win on Google in the 4-hour algorithm, 13%. Exxon. I've been talking about Exxon. Why? Because I said this was a previous resistance level at 120. It soared through there. 4-hour algorithm, you're up 19.2% in 37 days. 37 days. On this one, that doesn't move at all. J&J, all-time high. 4-hour algorithm had you in at 208. It trades just as well as buy and hold over the last 24 months. Average win 4.79. Again, this is a Dow stalwart. You're looking at a bunch of Dow stocks. Cat right there. 4-hour algorithm had you in at 595. You're at 664. And one that I personally own, it's down 10% in pre-market. 7.81 right now. Newmont Mining. After an all-time high, 4-hour algorithm had you in at $90. Okay? You are way up here at 130. Yesterday it peaked out at 134. And tech is continuing to slide. NASDAQ futures slide as tech-led sell-off looks to deepen. Know what you own. Okay? AI spending continues to be on track. with a message from hyperscalers as they've reported earnings, we are continuing to spend. We are continuing to spend. Meta, which I said, hey, buy under $600 because it's a good buy. Analysts optimistic about Meta's hefty AI spending ambitions after stellar Q4 report. Meta, go and look at the chart. Meta had a buy in the 4-hour algorithm down here at 646. I bought earlier than that because it dipped down towards $600. I said I want to buy it. You are at that 740 resistance level. Where did that come from? That 70-40 resistance level, February of last year. And then look what happened to the stock. Damn right, I am trimming this one. It's down 1.3% in pre-market. Know your charts, know what you own. This isn't rocket science. This isn't, astrology. This is a mathematical way of looking at the stocks that you own. That's why it's called technicals. Okay? Meta, great business. Great business. Zuckerberg said they can't keep the damn glasses on the shelf. It's a great business, even though they're spending. And the analysts are optimistic. Let's see what the average price target is. It's $848. That's 15% upside from here. Am I getting rid of Meta? No, I'm trimming it. I'm trimming it based on lower purchases that I've made over a year. I want long-term capital gains. Again, this is a hack. If it's in a broker, if it's in an IRA, maybe you want to think about just getting rid of it all and then buying it lower. So let's talk about Microsoft because this is a top 5 position for me. Yesterday's earnings were fantastic. But the Azure growth, the cloud growth, that's why Google hit an all-time high yesterday. The stock's a shit show. Things are great. And this is absolutely an overreaction. Absolutely an overreaction. We'll go over my plan in a little bit. But then you had ServiceNow. ServiceNow, great quarter. Down 9%. It was down 20% at one point in time. Now the IGV, this is the software, tech software. The quant has it as a strong sell because of the momentum. 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, you're down. While the market's up, it had its worst day yesterday since April of last year. Led by Microsoft and CRM, team Atlassian. And Google actually went up. Why? Because Google, their cloud business, while Microsoft's is decelerating, everybody thinks, well, Google must be accelerating because of their wins with AI. So you have to know what you own. And yes, I own both of these. But Microsoft leading the decline, are software stocks a tumble? Well, yeah, they are a tumble. They're tumbling down. And RBC is saying, hey, interesting list from RBC on what software names to buy on the pullback. And I own some of these. CrowdStrike, I agree. Under $500, CrowdStrike is buy. Datadog, I don't own it. HubSpot, I don't own it. Intuit, I own it. I'm not sure about it. I own it in my dad's portfolio. MongoDB, I agree, but I don't own it. Microsoft, I own it, but I want to sell it. ServiceNow, it's a $6 billion buyback they just announced. If you don't think that Bill McDermott is doing a fantastic job and announcing a $6 billion buyback is just minor, no. That guy knows his stock is underappreciated. So what am I doing with Microsoft? Well, Microsoft down here, you can see it has broken through that 460, which I thought was going to be a support. It probably is a resistance until it gets some type of thing. Microsoft, it's lumped in with software. For me, that's not a good situation. I've said it many times over the few months. I am not a software big guy. So I'm going to sell 6 figures of Microsoft, probably today, maybe Monday, maybe through next week. 4-hour algorithm got me out. I don't like this stock. I don't like this stock whatsoever. When I went back and I said, you know what? I bought this 1 year ago. It's down 2%. 5 years ago, it's up 86%. So I still have a lot of room to play with because most of my purchases were significantly long ago. So I will sell this. So you might say, well, what's the plan? Once you sell it, what do you do with it? Guess where it's going? Alpha picks. Why? Alpha picks during that time that Microsoft was down 2%, Alpha picks was up 48%. So I literally am going to take my money out of Microsoft, 6 figures, and put it into the Alpha Picks portfolio. You might say, why don't you go VOO? Well, VOO during that same period was up 16%. Again, know what you own. This is part of what I own. It's Alpha Picks. Alpha Picks is such a great portfolio. It's a pick on the 1st, which we will get next week. It's a pick on the 15th. And it outperforms the S&P. And I've been able to show that I am able to trade these using TrendSpider to try and outperform. And maybe you say, well, I don't want to subscribe to Alpha Picks. I do want TrendSpider because I do think TrendSpider is far better than Alpha Picks, and I want to make my own decisions. Well, that's where Sidekick can come in, okay? I literally went to Sidekick yesterday. I said, I currently have $100,000 in Microsoft for the last 2 years, and it's underperformed. With current earnings reaction, I'm looking for other opportunities within the NASDAQ 100. Can you find me 5 stocks in the NASDAQ 100 that should outperform the index over the next year? It found 5 of them. Amgen, Ross Stores, NXPI, Amazon, Fortinet. Now, am I in love with any of these? No, not specifically. But again, it's a guide. Does this outperform Alpha Picks? Probably not. Personally, I will tell you, one of the ones I was looking at yesterday is ASML. It brought up NXPI. I'm not that big of a fan of NXPI, but I am a huge fan of this one. Why? Let's just go look at ASML. They reported earnings yesterday. Fantastic, unbelievable earnings. Now, Wall Street only thinks that it's 1% upside. This one over the last year is up 104%. And it's still doing well. It's still doing well. Is it the best semiconductor and materials equipment? No, but I'd rather have that one than NXPI. Just my personal preference. So again, know what you own, get some guidance, and go and do your research. Now, Tesla, let me continue that this portion right here on Sidekick, because one of the things that Sidekick did for me was, hey, we're going to look at this, and then it created a scan for me. It literally created a scan. I forget what I called it. Let's see. Daily stock pick, what you own. What you own. Let's go look at what you own. We're going to close this down, and I'm going to look for a scan. Let's see. What you own. There you go. What other than Microsoft is what it's named. You can import it. I'm going to include it for anybody that has TrendSpider. You can include it. But it created this scan for me. Here's all of the ones that it found. NXPI. I can scan through it with the 4-hour algorithm, and I can say, you know what? Airbnb, that's in there. It outperforms Airbnb. You could trade it better on the 4-hour algorithm than buy and hold. Don't particularly like it. Ross Stores, it said, hey, this one over 2 years, it's up 34%. You can see the 4-hour algorithm getting you in and out over this time. Fortinet, you can see it's downward trending. Maybe it's turned around. I've got these markers in here because my dad owns this one. I don't look at this one. Amgen, which it said was great. Over the last 2 years, it's up 11%. Amazon, it came in here. Over the last 2 years, you're up 52% on this one. Pepsi. I don't love Pepsi. I got rid of my Pepsi. So you can see the area that it got you in there. Again, it builds a scan for you. Now I want to talk about Tesla, because Tesla had their earnings. Robotaxi and Optimus will be rolling out with a 20% growth in FSD subscriptions. Remember, Seeking Alpha as part of a premium, you get the premium and alpha picks. And what do you get here? You get an AI summary of the earnings call. Everything that they said. Musk revealed the end of the Model S and X production next quarter, stating it's time to basically bring the S and X programs to an end with an honorable discharge. We expect to wind down production next quarter and convert that into an Optimus factory, which will, with the long-term goal of having 1 million units a year of Optimus robots in the current S and X space in Fremont. So he's not getting out of the car business, getting out of those luxury cars, which weren't selling anyway. And they're great cars. Full disclosure, I was trying to decide between a Model X and a performance Model Y. They just made my decision for me. So again, Tesla, it's a good stock. This one is up 2% in pre-market. It's one of the few that's actually up. And why is it up? Let's go look. We're going to talk about SanDisk. We're going to talk about Deckers. Tesla shares rose after Bloomberg reported SpaceX is considering a merger with Tesla or an alternative combination with XAI, potentially exchanging shares for SpaceX equity. Again, we brought you that one, 2 weeks ago? I said the reason you want to invest in Tesla is because they may do a reverse merge in order to, and you'll basically get SpaceX. Amazing. IBM continues to see strong AI trends. This one was up 5% yesterday. Again, Dow stocks. That seems to be what's going on in the market. Dow stocks. Now let's talk about alpha picks. While the strong alpha picks buy, which we'll go over right now, wasn't a win. Celestica, you know what did go up? Royal Caribbean up 20% yesterday. 20%. There were a total of 11 names that were up 2% yesterday. Again, a down day in tech, and you have 11 names in the portfolio up more than 2%. In fact, a stock that I told everybody, paid members and everybody, I think I said it even on the free one, that I was buying on Tuesday, because it showed it was a strong buy, went to a buy. I thought it was going to get back to a strong buy. It's up 6% just in 2 days since I bought it. And yes, it's in my high conviction zone. If you don't know about my high conviction zone, then go over to the newsletter and you'll find it. Let's see, where is the newsletter? I think it's the fifth one down. Microsoft, Meta, Tesla earnings, that one. I think it was the office hours right here. And this one right here. I think that's where it is. So let's go over a stock that during that earnings, I said, you know what? I said, this is a strong buy stock. It's an alpha pick. Usually we see these pop on earnings because fundamentally it's a good one. Technically, usually you can see if it's a setup. And we looked at this one and we said, you know what? It looks like a decent setup. Celestica doesn't look like a blowout because we've seen this one kind of trail off right here. Did it pop? No. It got killed. CLS raises 2026 revenue outlook to $17 billion as company accelerates $1 billion capex for AI-driven demand. Huge demand. And what did the stock do? It tanked 13%. It's a strong buy in the quant. Wall Street thinks that you have 27% upside. So what do you do with something like this? What do you do? Well, I go back to the fact that fundamentally it's a good stock. Technically, you may have just run too far too fast. Look at the weekly. This is where Alpha Picks picked this one, way down here at 21. You're at $300 right now. $300. Okay? The week's high, 352. That goes back to 360 in October. Remember, we talked about how the MACD needs to reset, how the RSI needs to reset. Same thing here. So what do you do with something like this? You double down. Well, personally, I double down as it starts to dip. I try and find an entry. And I wait for the 4-hour algorithm to tell me when to buy again. It's as simple as that. It's not hard. Again, high conviction zone, technicals, and am I adding to this one now? No. I mean, this one has been sideways. I've been trimming this one at about 330, 340. In fact, I don't think I even trimmed at 330 because it was a strong buy. I was like, fundamentally, this one's good. In fact, I was debating whether to add at 332. Now I get to buy it under $300. I like it. I like it a lot. And as we go into earnings, you've got to not only know what you own, but what's the market doing? Again, what's the tone of the market? Visa, payment processor, a look into the consumer. They beat on their earnings. The problem was that payment processing was down. Is the consumer weakening? Is that something to highlight? We saw PPI, Producer Price Index, soar more than expected this morning, and we're seeing the markets pull back a little bit. So understand what earnings are. We knew on Tuesday, it was Seagate Technology, memory. They blew it away. STX, let's look at the reaction of STX on Tuesday. Look at that. It soared. 4-hour algorithm had you here at 291. You're at 446. So yesterday, Western Digital, they report Q2 revenue increases 25% as data center demand drives growth. Memory growing. Rinse and repeat. And then the big winner year to date, SanDisk, which has already doubled in the month of January. They reported. Blew it away. This was something that reporters, as I was watching CNBC yesterday, they said, we've got to just double check our numbers because we don't believe what we're seeing. And they said, come back to us. That's literally what they said. Up 22% in pre-market after being up 2% yesterday. I have in my notes, SNDK, I said, hey, this is a good buy under $600. It's at $541. Close yesterday, pre-market, you are at $662. They blew it away. 3 months ago, the estimates on this were $5 per share. They made $14 per share. I'm sorry. It might have been, I might have the revenue confused, but again, they anticipate gross margins 65% and quarter-to-quarter data center was up 65%. Again, 65% quarter over quarter. You knew both of these, Western Digital and SanDisk, would be good. So if you don't own them, why not? STX told you Tuesday how good the memory game is. Something might be holding you back from owning these stocks, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I am thinking under $600 for SanDisk is a good price. But don't you wish you had the 4-hour algorithm that got you in here at 222? Again, TrendSpider, it's on sale. Get the annual plan and get the 4-hour algorithm, which, by the way, I added SanDisk back here to the October watch list at $98. 6 times your money. Imagine putting $10,000 in here at $98 and then today having over $700,000. That's what that is like. I think. Do your math. Do your math. What would have pushed you in there? What tools would have said, you know what? I like this buy. I like this buy. Apple. This is the largest position in my personal portfolio. Apple, epic quarter. It was a blowout. iPhone revenues up 20%. Which blew away the street. China, which was down last year, was up 38%. Cook said it's a product-driven surprise. But it's clear it's product-driven. He also said Google running Siri will be highly private, as it has always been on device. The memory demand, they addressed it on the call. And this article goes over everything. And I'll read to you what they post about Wedbush. Dan Ives. They maintained its outperform rating at $350 share price target. Where is it trading right now? $258. They think it's going to be $350. Apple reported its full year quarter 2026 results that featured strong beats on the top and bottom lines, led by iPhone, which grew 23% year over year, particularly in China, which saw eye-popping 38% year over year growth. It has been a surprise tailwind in the iPhone 17 upgrade cycle thus far. Now, where's the stock as far as all of its indicators? Well, Apple, the MACD is below its oscillator. The RSI is coming off of a level of 18, and you go to a weekly chart, and it's still a little bit stretched. So do I expect us to hit this 280 again at some point in time? Yes. The analysis notes from Wedbush that besides maintaining their rating, they are keeping Apple on Wedbush's best ideas list. The analyst added that while the timeline to integrate the Siri is longer than expected, Google's Gemini announcement was necessary, the necessary move for Apple to deliver its own personal assistant within its hardware ecosystem while expecting to deliver a new subscription-based revenue stream to its 2.5 billion users. Yes, more than likely they're going to have some type of revenue stream with Siri and AI. We believe no AI premium currently is in the stock. They believe $75 to $100 per share is factored into Apple's current stock price. So they think an AI subscription could add $100 to the stock price. Now, I am slightly concerned with the price action of this one. After those amazing earnings, okay, we saw it pop and we saw it pull back. And you're seeing that 260 probably be a resistance level. So yes, it's still expensive. If you go and look at Apple in the quant, it is still expensive, even with those numbers factored in there. The valuation's still an F, 30 times forward earnings. Its PEG ratio, 2.93. Yes, it's expensive. Its growth, 6.43% year over year. Yes, it's expensive, but its profitability and its momentum are decent. It's not like this one's going to run away to $280 before you can get it. But for me, I am perfectly fine holding this one versus Microsoft, where I think that Microsoft is capped at a certain amount. So again, make your decisions based on your risk tolerance. We have one, Deckers. Everybody loves Anon. Everybody forgot about Deckers. Deckers is up 15% with record revenue and profits, and they raised their guidance. Up 15%. Okay, is this one a buy? Wall Street still thinks that it's worth $120. It's trading at 115. So we can go and look at Deckers. Deckers is one 4-hour algorithm. I wouldn't trade it. We've been seeing this one since it broke that trend. This one has been nothing but trouble. That trend, where is it from? It's from this weekly, okay? That from its low 2022, you saw it. Once it broke it, it got down to that 200-day on the weekly. We talked about the MACD and the RSI resetting. These have reset. Is this one ready to move up? Well, with raising guidance, that's probably a pretty good thing. But its growth, they need to produce the growth that they said they would. They're expected their valuation with their PEG growth going forward, it's still expensive at 3.67. They have to prove what they've done. So Deckers, it's on my watch list, not one that I'm looking to get into right away. But you know one that is? Hood. Hood at $100? Please. Yes. Why? U.S. eyes Robinhood markets for oversight of Trump accounts. Again, we're at the Super Bowl. Every day I'm getting a Robinhood alert. Hey, Bitcoin, you may want to buy it. Hey, betting on the Super Bowl, you may want to bet. I like this one. Is it expensive? You bet it's expensive. I bought it below 100. It got all the way up to 153. Did I sell it? No, I don't have a full position. I will buy more under 100. In fact, I think I'm still holding some at 130, which I may tax loss harvest at this point. I may sell it and then buy it again under 100 again. It's an expensive stock. Its valuation, crazy. Its peg, crazy. But the growth, you can't argue with it. And they're going to continue to grow. It's a management team that I like. SoFi is the other one that's on the watch list. This one's rinse and repeat. SoFi under $30, it continually pops to that 30. We can go look at it. Let's just put a horizontal line at $30. Right there, you can see September, got there in October, got there in December, got there in January. And now in pre-market, you're up 5% to 25. You don't think this one's going back to 30? It probably is. You can take a look at a weekly chart of this one, and you can see for a long time, I traded this one in this range. This goes from January 2023 all the way to October 2024. A long time. Now your weekly, your MACD stretched, your RSI at 47, it could pop back up. Keep it on a watch list. I don't personally own this, but I know a lot of people do. So I want to talk about what homework to do this weekend. January is over. Today I think is the last day of January. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But again, January is over. Use Sidekick. Go to TrendSpider. Go and use Sidekick. I have 10 more messages until tomorrow. I will use all 10 messages. Evaluate your own portfolio. Okay? Put your portfolio into TrendSpider. $7. Remember, the sale is this weekend. $7. Load up your portfolio as a watch list. Go and look at what Sidekick thinks about your portfolio. Go and evaluate Alpha Picks. I have Alpha Picks as a watch list. And yes, I use it constantly with Sidekick. Look up some strong buy stocks. If you don't have Alpha Picks and you just have Seeking Alpha or whatever tool you have, go and look those things up. Load them up into a portfolio. Have Sidekick choose which ones you may want to invest in over the next 6 months. Earnings are in full swing. They're going really, really well. There will be a pullback at some point in time this year. It's a buy the dip market. Remember, we know it's an AI and metals with gold and silver at all-time highs. Pullbacks are opportunities. On Wednesday, we hit an all-time high in the S&P of 7,000. It didn't stay there. It's a buy the dip market. So make your weekend count. Do a little bit of $7. Skip lunch at Chipotle. You know, tell your kid, hey, have Kraft macaroni and cheese instead of Chipotle this weekend. Or give them some lollipops. Let them suck on those for 4 hours. And then go and try TrendSpider. If you have any questions, everything's on Linktree. Remember, premium, the bundle, perfect bundle is premium with Alpha Picks, which you can get on Linktree, and TrendSpider. But TrendSpider's the one that has a sale this weekend that I think you should take an opportunity to try. So if you have any questions, even my email address is up on Linktree. Go and get it. I will talk to you later. Have a great weekend. Bye. Okay. Okay, I see comments, but I'm not responding to comments. Shep's right. Meathead blocked. He might be. Yeah, Meathead's blocked. iMovie. There we go. Welcome to iMovie. Why am I getting started? What? Oh, it must have updated. There we go. We're going to move this over. And boom. What the hell's going on here? What? Man, I don't know what's going on with freaking getting more what's new in iMovie. There we go. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is, there we go. The Mac is messing me up. I have Weeble. By the way, just so you know, Jerry, I do have Weeble up there. Weeble sucks compared to, I mean, Weeble is Temu. Weeble is Temu compared to TrendSpider. That's what it is. Meathead doesn't hurt my feelings. He's just anti-Semitic. That's bothered me. I mean, he threw out there, did I meet Jane in a temple? Just anti-Semitic. That bothers me. And then he tries to play it off like I said I was Jewish. Douchebag. I don't have tolerance for hatred. And that was a very hatred-filled tone. So, that's why I don't like Meathead. Let's see, export file. Oh, come on. Copy. Paste. No. Copy. Man, the Mac may need to be reset. Save. There we go. Okay. Let's just do a Canva. YouTube thumbnail. Yeah, let's do my designs. Let's see. Let's see. No. Oh. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna shrink that down. We're gonna take this? Yeah, we'll take this one and shrink it. Okay. Move that over there. And and we'll shrink that down a little bit. Copy, and we'll move this, and whoa, plus earnings, and we'll shrink this down. I'll take this out, and we'll just do that. There we go. Download, download. There we go. Yeah. Alpha pick February 2nd. That must be Monday. That must be Monday. Okay. Let me see. Can I control this? There we go. Moderated. Don't worry, Jerry. I moderated him. Somebody that hops on chat and just wants to be a keyboard warrior while being anti-Semitic. Moderated. Which probably pisses him off, but it is what it is. I mean, every now and then, I mean, people just push it too far. Maybe a very nice person, I don't know, but sometimes you just push it too far. I love you, Daisy. But no. Okay, let me see. I got a lot of links to worry about now. I know. Let me see. What are you up to? Oh, hold on. I'll come over. She pushed that. Why did you two push this off? Okay. There we go. Oh, you don't want to see my crotch area. Da 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 da. Oh boy. I'm gonna turn off my do not disturb. And what's the market doing? SoFi's pulling back. QQQ. QQQ's coming back. Market opened. Let's see. Larry, you're too kind. Larry tipped me. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. I am down. Wow, I'm down 1%. Why is that? Is Apple down that much? Yeah, Apple's getting killed. People are taking profits on Apple. Again, Mag 7, Apple's down 2%. Microsoft is up 1%. Apple's just, oof. I mean, let's look at the 5-minute chart of Apple. Yeah, the market just didn't like those earnings. I thought they were great. But again, I point to, is this a stock that could double? Probably not. I mean, that's, if you're looking for Apple to double, you are not going to, yeah, I mean, great point, AJ. If we look at last year, I mean, I kind of said, hey, this year is looking exactly like it. I mean, let's look at the seasonality of Apple. We'll go back to, let's go back to 1984. These months are not great. You want to buy in the months that are down, like June, probably want to buy. I mean, that's 42 years. June, September. Morning, Lisa. I mean, that's those earnings, though. Those earnings are better than a 2% fall on open. And that's the market that we're in is, again, you look at the weekly, the MACD stretched. People are just thinking that this is the top. I do agree that I think at some point in time this year, I made the mistake last year of selling at 240. I think I sold at 260 right up there. I sold at 240, I sold at 220, and I sold at 200. Now, all of those were significant gains. I think my average purchase price is like $1 something. So all of those had long-term capital gains. The money went back into stocks like Alpha Picks that outperformed on the way up. So it makes sense. But in this market, I love Alpha Picks. I want Alpha Picks. So I'm going to start taking some of those stocks that I own and pushing them up towards Alpha Picks. Now, let me just start uploading this desktop. There we go. We will start uploading to YouTube as well. Select file. Boom. And then we'll upload to okay. And we've got that. Analysts, copy link. I need to really do a agent that changes these links, but so far I haven't successfully been able to get an AI agent do this manual labor for me. And it's probably just me not programming it correctly. I don't think it's me, the actual agents that are the problem. I think it's me. But I still don't trust what's that new bear one or something? That you give control of your entire computer to do programming and repetitive tasks and stuff. I do allow Comet to take control of my browser, which I actually like. I think that one does a great job. I honestly wish that Apple would have bought Perplexity and turned that into Safari. But my guess is that there are significant security issues with Perplexity, and Safari doesn't want to Apple doesn't want to deal with that. So, copy link. Copy link. Boom. SanDisk. Copy link. The Apple iPhone record sales. Boom. Copy link. Boom. Deckers Outdoors, copy link. You know, it's funny because we don't have people like Meatstick on Substack. Makes me think I should just go to Substack Live. I like Substack Live. Okay, all the links are changed. I've got, let's see, we'll go back here, generate an SEO. Copy. Paste. We'll upload the and we'll go and get the description. Oh, your shows. Man, I tell you what, Spotify's really having some technical difficulties of late. For me, at least. I don't know why. But copy. And then we're going to put here. We're going to go. And generate an SEO. There we go. And we'll put that in there. Kick. Yeah. Yeah, AJ, I think that's the right strategy right there. That to me, and I think it has a lot to do with people are okay, I think, and specifically fund managers, I think they're okay selling in January to take bigger risks. They don't want to sell Apple in December. And we saw that at least last year in a big way. This year, it wasn't that big of a way. I mean, you can see in December, it did dip down. But last year, I mean, it was just December. You popped way back up by February. And then you just, Liberation Day took it down. But I was hoping that the same thing would happen. I mean, again, this pop was February 24th. So maybe in February we start trending higher again on earnings, because earnings were really good. Okay, and we've got this all done, so we'll take that and we'll move this over here. And copy. Copy. Okay, and upload the file. Paid promotion. Submit. Import video. And save. Next. Public instant premiere. Publish. Okay, this one's generating a preview. And that one's already done. So, there we go. Okay. We're going to do 3 there. Yeah, my portfolio is probably way down. Let's say doggies playing in snow. I love dogs. All my friends send me their dogs videos. Yeah, I am getting ready for more downside. Mo downside. Come on, why is this not getting ready? Okay. I'm gonna be out of here. You guys have yourselves a great weekend. I will talk to you Monday. See you, bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.